What's up everybody, I am DJ Ross1 from TEES. Today I'm going to be talking about arguably the greatest MC of all time and the source of some of the toughest t-shirts out there, the Notorious BIG. Along with that, I'm also going to take a look at Bad Boy Records and talk about some of their history and t-shirts. Now Biggie needs no introduction, he's obviously in every greatest MC conversation, usually right at the top. But one unique thing about Biggie is that he really understood the value and importance of owning his own clothing brand at a time when not many other artists were doing that. So let's take a look at some t-shirts and talk about Notorious BIG and Bad Boy Entertainment. I'm going to kick things off with this early 90s Bad Boy Entertainment promo tee. As most of you know, Bad Boy was started in 1993 by Sean Puffy Combs, and this logo was designed by Daryl Ferguson, who is notably the father of A$AP Ferg. Now, you can love or hate the baby logo. It is a baby with a sideways hat wearing Timberlands, but you cannot deny that it is one of the most unique and recognizable logos in hip-hop. Here's another early Bad Boy promo. I think this is probably from around 95. Features the roster on the back with Biggie, Faith Evans, Craig Mack, and Total. These shirts are a little easier to find than the previous one, but they're still really tough. Taking it back to the summer of 1994, the first Bad Boy Records release was the Craig Mack single Flavor in Your Ear.
And here comes a brand new flavor in your ear, Mack's a brand new flavor in your ear.
Really big record, really put Bad Boy on the map, and this is the promo t-shirt for that record. You can see the big 94 in the middle. Now early on, Puffy was promoting both Craig Mack and Biggie together, sort of as a way to promote both Bad Boy artists at once, and as a way to introduce Biggie based off the success of that first Craig Mack single. At the time, there was a famous Big Mack campaign featuring a promo cassette tape. As far as I know, this is the first promo item that mentions the Notorious BIG. You can see it's also promoting the first Craig Mack album. Those albums came out about a week apart. Has a big Bad Boy Entertainment logo on the back, and this is on a mid-90s Fruit of the Loom tag. I've seen this sweatshirt a total of one time in my life, so safe to say there aren't too many of these out there. Another popular promo item in the mid-90s was the handkerchief. Really cheap to make, easy to hand out. Again, here you have both artists. You get double the promotion on a single item. Already you start to see that Puff Daddy marketing mentality at work. In the fall of 1994, we get Ready to Die, one of the greatest albums in the history of hip-hop. And this is the official promo t-shirt for that album. You can see the Bad Boy, Arista, BMG logos at the bottom. This is an impossibly rare t-shirt. I don't think they made too many, and even less have survived the last 25 plus years. You can see it's on one of those mid-90s Fruit of the Loom tags, my favorite tag. 94, 95 kind of represent transitional years for the promo t-shirt, where it went from being a more traditional band tee or a logo tee into more of a marketing tool where it was almost like a walking billboard, which I'm sure marketing minds like Puff Daddy had something to do with. Speaking of billboard tees, this is one of my favorites. This is actually one of the earliest Bad Boy t-shirts. This goes back to 93, and this is featured in TEES along with a photo by T. Eric Monroe of Biggie, Little C's, and their crew hanging out with Tupac, and they're all wearing I'm a Bad Boy t-shirts. It's an amazing photo. Also, check out that byline on the bottom of the back of the shirt. I'm sure they got a call from corporate, and on the next t-shirt, that was changed to the next generation of dreamers. Shout out to Kurt from For All to Envy, that's where this shirt came from. I think another reason why we don't see as many promo t-shirts in the mid-90s is because 1995 is the year where we really start to see the street corner parking lot bootlegs start to take off. Obviously there were bootlegs before that, but in 95 we really see an influx of the style of bootleg that's become so popular now, so sought after, and so imitated. And among the best of those bootlegs are the 95 Biggie bootlegs. Any Biggie bootleg from 95 is exponentially more rare than the later bootlegs. This is really a prime example of what everybody's after right now and what every Urban Outfitters is trying to emulate. If you happen to stumble across one of these, feel free to shoot me a DM. Do not DM me asking to buy these. I don't care how bad you want one or how long you claim to have been looking for one. Here's another really good example of a 95 Biggie bootleg. These originally sold for $5 to $10, maybe 3 for 20. Now they easily sell for 150 times that amount. Because they were so cheap and they were printed on such low quality blanks, often they just disintegrated or were thrown out after a year, so most of them didn't survive the 90s and they're especially coveted today. Also in 1995 we get Junior Mafia and this Get Money bootleg. It wasn't too long ago that I would feel bad for spending over $100 on this shirt, and now you can't really find it for less than $1,000. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it is what it is. Around this same time, 95 or 96, Biggie starts working with a company called 11 Blocks, which was started by a former Tommy Boy designer, and it was to start producing his own line of Biggie Smalls clothing. This is a rare example of one of those 11 Blocks t-shirts. You can see the design is pretty simple, and the brand was short-lived, but it became the springboard for what would become Brooklyn Mint, which was Biggie's clothing line that he started in 96 and controlled until his death. This is one of the earliest Brooklyn Mint sweatshirts from 96 or 97. I always really loved this, and these are becoming really rare now. Gotta remember, this is still the early days of artists owning their own clothing lines. I think it's safe to say that had Biggie lived, he would have gone on to become a very successful entrepreneur, just like the Jay-Z's and Puff Daddies of the world. It's clear he had a much larger vision of ways to monetize his success beyond just the music. On March 9th, 1997, the Notorious B.I.G. was tragically murdered in Los Angeles, cutting his young career short. After his death, there was a tremendous outpouring of love and support, and we start to see a lot of Biggie tribute tees. This is an example of one of those 97 tribute t-shirts made by Bad Boy. A lot of the original memorial tees will have a copyright 1997 PDMI on them. PDMI is Puff Daddy's merchandising company, which started putting out t-shirts right around 97. Here's another memorial on PDMI. A lot of times it's a big image like this on the front and then a message or a date on the back. Along with the official PDMI memorial shirts, we also get a ton of memorial bootleg shirts in 97, and a lot of these are memorializing Tupac along with Biggie. Here's a Hot 97 Summer Jam bootleg from 1997, which was also a big Notorious B.I.G. tribute show.
It's the 10 crack commandments.
Also, as a side note, it was the year that Wu-Tang basically got banned from Hot 97. Shout out my man Alex for the plug on this tee. In 97 and 98, we see a lot more PDMI licensed merch for Puff Daddy and other Bad Boy artists. I'm going to run through a few of my favorites. Right out of the gate, I always love the Puff Daddy Tommy Hilfiger knockoff. Another favorite is the Puff Daddy $100 bill for It's All About the Benjamins. Here's another 97 Benjamins tee on PDMI. Again, this really represented a shift in hip-hop where entrepreneurs like Puff Daddy could realize how much money they can make off of licensing and merchandising, as well as starting their own brands. Here's another shirt from 97 with Puffy and Biggie on it, Together Forever. Puff Daddy shirt for the No Way Out tour in 1997. All the tour dates on the back. Another group Puff Daddy did merchandising for was the Lox when they were on Bad Boy. This is from 98. And this is my favorite PDMI shirt from 97. This is the official Lil' Kim hardcore t-shirt. This is a stupid rare t-shirt that gets knocked off all the time, but it's really hard to find an original. Okay, to finish off, I'm just going to show you a few of the later Brooklyn Mint t-shirts. These range anywhere from 2005 all the way up through the 2010s. They're still really easy to find, but I think it's obvious that over time they're going to get rarer and rarer. They're still official Biggie shirts, and I pick them up if I can find them in smaller than a 2X. This one's pretty great. This one's from 05, and this is that 05 revamped logo. Very 2000s with the bedazzled design. This is kind of a classic Brooklyn Mint t-shirt. This is from probably late 2000s, maybe close to 2010. Like I said, they're cool shirts, and they're only going to get tougher and tougher to find as time goes on. Well, that about wraps up my Notorious B.I.G. and Bad Boy Entertainment recap. I have a few other really special Bad Boy related items, but I think I'm going to save those for future videos down the road. I want to thank you for tuning in. I'm DJ Ross1 from Rap Tees. I will see you next time.